Cursed is a new Netflix show that is out now. I finally finished it after about, a week? Cursed tells the tale of Nimue, who in King Arthur legend is the Lady in the Lake. This show is it's a different spin on the King Arthur legend, and Nimue has to deliver this sword that is not Excalibur, it's called Devil's Tooth, to Merlin. She also discovers something about her heritage, as well as her newfound supernatural powers, and on the way she meets Arthur, who is not a king yet. Cursed, for me, I didn't really enjoy my time watching this. Which is probably why it took forever for me to actually watch the show. First of all, I don't think these episodes should have been nearly as long as they were. I think they should have been around the 45 to 50 minute mark, 50 minutes at max. I don't think that you needed to extend these episodes to hour-long episodes because a lot of it is just filler. This is definitely trying to be Netflix's answer to Game of Thrones. It's a lot of storylines that you gotta follow, there's a lot of characters you gotta follow, and everything just seems like it's the structure of Game of Thrones. This feels like it's trying to be a more family-oriented Game of Thrones, which is also very weird because there's minimal nudity, there's minimal swearing, but yet there's times where there's graphic violence. Like, people's heads are getting chopped off and hands are getting chopped off and blood is spraying everywhere. Yet it feels like it's aimed at more of the young adult family demographic, so I'm not 100% sure who this is supposed to be aimed towards. Is it supposed to be aimed towards me? Is it supposed to be aimed towards young adults, or is it supposed to be aimed towards families? I mean, families definitely can't watch this if there's bloodshed flying everywhere. The show feels very confused in terms of what audience it's trying to please. Certain characters in the show, Nimue especially. I think Katherine Langford is a great actress. She does the best of what she's got. Almost every actor and actress in this show does the best of what they're given. Nimue, for me, was more of just a discount Daenerys Targaryen. Somebody discovering who she was, learning about her heritage, and then they actually do what feels like the Mad Queen plotline that they did with Dany in Game of Thrones, but with Nimue. Arthur feels like Jon Snow. You see what I'm getting at? There's so many, to me at least, I'm not sure if anybody else thought of this, so call me crazy if you want, but for me there were just way too many parallels to Game of Thrones in terms of its structure, its look, its feel, its characters that felt so much like they were trying to replicate Game of Thrones. The acting, like I said, is adequate. I think Katherine Langford's really good. Devon Terrell, I think, as Arthur is fine. Most of the acting is adequate to fine. The problem is that they're given such shit dialogue. I can't believe they actually wrote this dialogue. And it takes a while to figure out who the characters are. The Red Paladins were by far my favorite characters in this entire show. I loved everything about the Red Paladins. The Green Knight was also really cool. Squirrel, I'm not blaming that kid for spewing out terrible dialogue. It's what he's scripted to do. It's what he's told to do. People are going to say he's a bad actor. To me, it was the writing. He did a fine job. There are characters like that I really liked. I liked also Morgana, I thought was a really good character. It's just at the core, at the nucleus of this show, I just felt it was a bit hollow. Just trying to replicate that success that Game of Thrones was. And let me talk about the violence again for a minute, because, like I said, it gets graphic, but then there's sequences where I feel like they are afraid to show something. Like, somebody will get slashed with a sword and there won't be any bloodshed, and then another person comes along and gets slashed with a sword, and it's all this CGI bloodfest that we come to know from, like, Frank Miller and, like, his type of, like, graphic novel stuff. That seemed really jarring to me. What also was really jarring were these scene transitions. There would be a scene, and then it would transition into, like, this comic book-esque type of animation to transition into the next scene, and that was very jarring as well, because I felt like we didn't really get a sense as to where we were going with the next scene with the characters. They just kind of ended up in places, and then the previous scenes, before the scene transitioned with that, like, animated cartoon, a lot of scenes felt incomplete to me. Cursed, honestly, is just something where it felt obligatory after a while. I got halfway through, I was contemplating whether or not I should stop watching it. I was like, you know what? I've come this far, might as well finish it. And after a while, it just felt obligatory, and it felt like a bore. that's my take on Cursed. So I wasn't a huge fan. I mean, if there is a season 2, I'll probably watch it. I mean, I don't know. It doesn't seem like a lot of people are liking it all that much so far. For at least from what I've seen from people I've talked to, they think it's decent to kind of just and I'm just kind of on the side. It just wasn't my thing. I like the idea that there's a new spin on the King Arthur legend, and the characters and the acting themselves are fairly good. It's just a lot of the dialogue and other production values just weren't up to speed for me, and it just felt like a carbon copy / rip-off of Game of Thrones. So that's my review of Cursed. I hope if you guys did watch the series, I hope you enjoyed it. Remember, this is just my opinion. I'm probably the only one who's going to make the connection to Game of Thrones. I have no idea. Kind of left a sour taste in my mouth. So stay tuned for more reviews coming very soon. I will leave my link to my website in the description below. You guys are the best. Thank you for watching. My name is Alex Madden, and I'll see you at the movies somewhere.